Dileptus anser is the most frequently recognized species of Dileptus, both in the literature and on the Internet. It was originally described by Müller in 1773. A large number of species of Dileptus have been named and classified. Dileptus anser is number 17 among Kahl's published classical drawings of Dileptus species. Diagrams of Dileptus anser vary considerably. Here are compared drawings from Kudo, the ISOP Guidebook, Kahl, and Pennock. The essential features are all the same: a proboscis with a basal cytostome, a body, and a pointed distal end. The thickness of the proboscis is not uniform, although the rough proportions of proboscis length and body length are remarkably close. The represented nuclear structures are different from one another. The pointedness of the tail region seems quite different in Pennock's version. Assuming that scientific drawings are often quite carefully constructed, the obvious question is, are these varieties of the same species, or possibly are they even different species? These questions underscore the intrinsic weakness of relying solely on morphologic appearance for classification. Looking back at Müller's original diagrams, published in 1786, it seems unlikely that all 5 of the depicted organisms are Dileptus anser. In one instance, the body is disproportionately large, and in 3, the proboscis is remarkably long, narrow, and sometimes even twisted. Probably all 5 of the represented organisms are Dileptus, but it seems quite possible that if these organisms were classified today, 3 would be identified as Dileptus cygnus. Over time, Müller's original use of the name has been amplified by addition of many species. And so, in the search for Dileptus anser, we will remove the original diagram and add that of Kudo, alongside a few other examples. However, the one at the bottom right, taken from Wikipedia, seems to have a neck which is too long, as well as a body which is too narrow, with a remarkably prominent cytostome, and a tail which is superfluously long. Rather than classifying this organism as a variant of Dileptus anser, it might be more appropriate to consider it to be a different species, possibly Monolatus. The resemblance is notable, but so is the appended question mark. It seems that Kahl wasn't certain about whether this organism represented a variant or a separate species. Dileptus anser is here reduced to being the species with a somewhat stout proboscis of average length, a somewhat corpulent body, and a short but definitely pointed tail. Nonetheless, There is no denying the existence of more than 50 recognized species, and since diagrams of all of these are not available for comparison, it must be accepted that while the classification of an organism as being of the genus Dileptus may seem relatively secure, the species classification may be somewhat uncertain, especially if it is dependent totally on variable morphologic criteria, which may even be influenced by environmental conditions such as temperature, amount of available sunlight, and nutrition, not to mention cover glass pressure. Here's a video of Dileptus, presumably species anser. All of the aforementioned general features are left to the observation of the viewer. The flailing movements of the proboscis, which are quite characteristic of Dileptus, are clearly visible in the video. Additional features not previously noted include a remarkable strip of extrasomes running almost the entire length of the proboscis within the ventral surface. Note the prominent oral aperture at the base of the proboscis on the ventral side. It is partially ringed by dense groups of tracheides or extrasomes. Dileptus anser has 2 or more contractile vacuoles, which most often appear to be located in dorsal regions of the body. And so, we return to the video of what we are calling Dileptus anser. Perhaps this impression is reinforced somewhat by the inset diagram.